However, we move on now to Mr. Duckett, who's going to talk to us about the Uberisation of talent. I've been practicing saying Uberisation.
The Uberisation of talent. Can the job market really be optimised? Now, he does go on to say somewhere what Uberisation means, and it really it's a word that means it could be you could be flexible about it and make it more efficient.
Okay.
And it struck me as interesting because it's an article all about, and Joanna's here as a recruitment person, how come companies are having difficulty getting really good employees when we're in the middle of a recession and lots of people have been made redundant. Good and bad people have been made redundant. Where's the misfit? This article purports to look at some of the issues. And I wondered whether, you've seen it, Joanna, whether you had any thoughts about why it might be so difficult to find good employees even though we're in a recession and lots of people have been made redundant.
Okay. I think the good employees are out there.
Yes.
The issues are that since 2008, we have been in a recession, and there is really not much recruitment going on at the moment. You know, there's very discrete employment or recruitment going on, but it's not the massive stuff. Organisations have been paring down, reducing their costs, and when they are looking for somebody, it's a very, very quiet process. But I've yet to work with a client, and this is not being rude, it's being factual, where the client has actually identified exactly what they want from the candidates, that actually ultimately is the successful candidate. You know, there is an added value from interviewing the top 5 or whatever in your recruitment process.
Well, this gentleman, Thomas, let me read his name if I can, Thomas Kamoro Prumozic.
Oh, you're brave going for that.
I know. I thought I'd just try that out.
I would have said Premusic, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Premusic. Anyway, he's a business psychologist, and he's at University College. But anyway, he said there's three. He thinks there's three causes. One of them is that there's a big difference between what employees want and what they actually need.
That's interesting, isn't it?
Yes. That they're not aware of what they really need. They're not really being objective enough about it. But the second reason was that where organisations do know what they need, it's quite hard for them to find it, and that's the bit that you're addressing now. Why is it so hard to find it?
I think it's very much about how you go about finding the right talent, and you know it isn't necessarily trawling through LinkedIn.
This is exactly what he's saying, isn't it?
It's not. Yes, you know you can see people's profiles, and anybody's profile or CV will be written to the individual's best advantage. But you've actually got to get underneath the skin of these people. Use a headhunter. Somebody that actually is capable of working out who the good people are and finding those people. And they're not necessarily the people that have been made redundant. They're the people perhaps who still are in employment. You've got to find the best talent. But it's not just about the best talent and ticking all the boxes that the employer wants, but it's got to be the best cultural fit. As well.
Yeah. Isn't there a saying that I often say that there's a saying you use in your industry, and I might be misquoting you, but can they do, will they do, and will they fit? And of those, the third one, will they fit, is prime importance.
Absolutely. It has to be a good fit. You have to get on with people in the office. Paul, do you have people?
No, well, technically, yes, I suppose. Our share of the 1,500 employees that run the whole logistics and stuff. But generally, I was thinking of what I heard this morning from somebody that was talking specifically about recruitment, and I think it depends on who the employer recruits to do the recruitment.
Which, Joanna's point, you've got to have the right kind of search person.
Who actually delve into not only predominantly with what's the client looking for, but then going away doing their work with the actual people that may actually end up getting the job and marrying the two. So I think that's quite a key.
Quite agree with that.
Absolutely.
The point that the little point that he makes that I thought was very interesting is most employees are hired on the basis of their occupational expertise. They're hired on the basis of expertise and what they can do, but they're promoted or fired on the basis of their attitudes and their motivations. So he's suggesting that maybe you should be looking at people's attitudes, motivations, the kind of fit stuff, whether they fit the kind of person we want, let alone what they're good at, what kind of person are they. You should be looking for that at the outset.
Absolutely. It's all about culture. And if you are a headhunter, you've got to actually understand the culture of the environment that's recruiting and the culture and the environment of the potential employees.
Absolutely.
So it's marrying them all up.
And it's